Good morning and happy Wednesday, April the 22nd. The other day I shared with you a model which talks about how we go through the transition from the things that we experienced in the past, the normal, if you will, that we've had previous, to something we call the new normal. And you might remember that this is the way the normal was, and then there's a change event that takes place. And that causes us to go through a valley, if you will, where it's filled with anxiety and denial, and we want to crawl back this way. But the reality is we need to move forward. We cannot go backwards. And with this current pandemic, we cannot go backwards. This is defining and redefining us. And so I want to give you some perspectives, because I believe during this time, the most difficult is right here. This is the most difficult time. This is charged with energy, and we're trying to figure things out. We've gone long enough. There's still tons and tons of unanswered questions. And so you as a leader, the greatest challenge for you is, how do you lead with appropriate perspective? You don't have a lot of answers right now. All you can do is try to feel your way through it. And you'll remember in the past we talked about the model of from here to there, and that the role of a leader is to get their team from here to there. The challenge is, this journey that we've been taking has been broken. Just like this model, there's been a change, and the there is no longer the there. We wonder where. We don't have those answers. We don't know where we're going to reemerge. But what I've encouraged you all to do is to take the detour. Don't stand still. Take a detour. Figure out a different path. Learn about yourselves as an organization, as a team. What is defining you through this? What is going to differentiate you from the others? But during this time, don't leave gaps for your team to figure it out on their own. Bring them together. Daily huddles are more important now than they ever have been. Meeting with your team is more important than they ever have been. And even though you're trying to social distance, there are tools like Zoom and WebEx and other tools that will allow you to virtually come together as a team, and where you can lead. And this is where you as a leader need to lead, because your team doesn't have the answers. And even though you don't have the answers, don't try to give them answers, but give them perspective. I was reminded of that this morning when I was working out, and at points when it became difficult, I then looked at the time I had left to go through that stage of my workout, and it gave me perspective, knowing A, that I could do it, but B, that I only had a certain amount of time left. But if I hadn't have looked down to see what the timing was, I may have struggled to keep going. But seeing how much time I had left, I knew I could persevere. And that's what I mean, bring people together during this most difficult time so that we can start to reemerge as we go along. So on this Wednesday, the middle of the week, it's kind of ironic that we talk about the middle of our journey in this way. But lead with perspective. Don't try and give the answers, but lead with perspective, and take your team through it.